Everyone, Sun Kikoga here, and I have some bad news regarding the pre-orders for Nintendo Switch 2. And before I talk about that, I do want to get one thing out of the way. Listen, I don't like to talk about politics on this channel. In fact, I do my very, very best to avoid talking about them altogether. But the reality is that politics do affect our entertainment, video games, and all that. And I figure you guys need to know this news. Now, before I talk about what's going on with Nintendo Switch 2, I want to give my overall thoughts on the Switch 2 Direct real quick. If you want to check out my reaction to the Switch 2 Direct, it's on my channel. You can go watch it if you want. I would appreciate it. It showed a lot of great stuff. We learned a lot about the system being more powerful than the Switch 2, and NVIDIA posting a specs list of it being 10 times more powerful than the Switch 1, and had amazing games shown off like Donkey Kong Bonanza, Mario Kart World, Kirby Air Riders, Hyrule Warriors, Age of Imprisonment, and all other stuff. And I'm so hyped for those games. And we learned about the prices afterwards. And Nintendo Switch 2 costs about $450. Now that's still a good price, because I could pay for that. And as for the games, oh man, Mario Kart World costs around $80 physically. So yeah, I still don't know what was going through Nintendo's mind when they priced that game. Now, while that game is $80, Donkey Kong Bonanza will cost around $70, which is still not a good price, but I'd rather pay for $70 for games than $80. Now, to get into the bad news regarding pre-orders. Nintendo Switch 2 pre-orders were about to go live on April 9th, which is a week from now, but this morning they issued a statement saying they postponed pre-orders for Nintendo Switch 2 on April 9th due to the impacts of tariffs in other countries. The release date remain unchanged. Now, as of now, this is only affecting the US, while other territories like the UK, I think Canada, and other stuff, they're able to pre-order the system right now. Now look, again, I don't like politics, and this will be the only time I talk about them. But you know who, our president, implemented these tariffs around other countries, and one of those countries is Vietnam. And before you ask, what does Vietnam have to do with this? Well, Vietnam is a country that has Nintendo Switch 2 production there. Nintendo moved production from China to Vietnam to sort of offset the tariffs that could be impacted, but Vietnam is heavily affected by them. So yeah, and why this is a concerning issue, because why is this a concerning issue? Well, this could affect the overall price of Nintendo Switch 2 itself. Like, there could be a chance that the console will end up costing more than what it's originally supposed to cost. And I've been hearing people say it could go by 50%. And if you do the math on percentage sales, yeesh. I really hope it doesn't come to that, because I do not want to pay $600 to $700 for a console. If it does happen, I'm still not gonna like it, but I'm gonna have to grin bear it and just buy the damn thing, because I do want to get this console so bad. So bad. But now, there is a little good news that this could not affect that much. Currently, there are negotiations between the U.S. and Vietnam talking about reducing the tariffs. Vietnam wants to completely remove tariffs from the U.S., and hopefully the U.S. responds by dropping the tariff percentage down a bit. And if you don't know what percentage of tariffs that is in Vietnam, a whopping 46. Yeah. I hope negotiations go well and we can be fine, not having to pay more than what we already going to be paying for the Switch 2 and the games. Now, I'm optimistic that it could go through, but it could fall through. I hope it doesn't come to that. I do not want to pay more money, but I still want the Switch 2, and it's going to be a hard pill to swallow, but yeah. You remember all those Nintendo Treehouse Live chat comments saying, drop the price. Yeah, I'm not sure if they're gonna do that because of all this shit. Now again, negotiations could go through, and we won't have to worry about that. But that's kind of all you need to know about the situation. Again, this will be the only time I will talk about politics on this channel, and hope I don't have to do that again. But yeah, the reality is, politics can affect the things we love, like gaming, entertainment, and all that shit. So yeah, that's gonna be all for me. I already did a YouTube short explaining this topic, but I did not go on too detail. I want to keep it short. This is more like a longer video, explain my thoughts on the situation overall, and give y'all the bigger picture of what's happening. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you think of this shit in the comments. Now, listen, keep it civil in the comments, because I do not want any political debates or wars in my comment section. None of that shit. If I see that happening, I will remove it. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, share. And this is Sunget Koga, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.